Hey everybody, Dan the Wolfman. First off, everyone that has subscribed or hasn't done it yet, go do that and like. Thank you all for making my podcast successful so far. I feel like I've hit 2 for 2 so far. Great interview with BJJ Judo Karate, Japanese Jiu-Jitsu Black Belt, NYPD Detective Ray Garcia. Oh my God. Versus a knife, versus a gun, versus a sniper, versus a guy squaring up with throwing hands, and the guy turns out to be a pro boxer. Crazy stories with Razor Ray Garcia. Okay, so I'm late to the party here, and that's because I didn't really want to get involved. And look, I'm retired. I haven't done nothing in years. A couple years ago, I was trying to get a match with Manoa Man, a grappling match, who said he was down. We could do it SUG or whatever. You know, it didn't happen. At this point, though, my back, my neck, my knees, I'm pretty jacked up. But I'm a little late to the party. I gotta now talk about Orlando Sanchez, RVCA throwdown versus UFC fighter Sean Strickland. And why I gotta do it is because literally I am the guy that people keep mentioning, coming to and commentating on YouTube about, to learn just what the heck that standing elbow crank is. Well, I'm kind of the guy because in 2009, I first had a video showing it on EHOW Expert Village. And my 45 little short videos, self-defense videos, combat jiu-jitsu, did like 17, 18 million views at this point. Okay, and then I also have videos showing it in 2014, 2015, even before that, 2012, in different countries around the world teaching it, and whatever. So I get a lot of people asking about it. I've also been a bouncer off and on for 20 years. And when he put men with egos and drinking, it's usually a bad scene. That's when stuff happens. Now, I'm not trying to start anything with Orlando or Sean or anybody. I'm just an old dork in a Batman shirt. Okay, let's throw that out there. Okay? But even yesterday, I'm teaching a private with Big Henry, 6'4", 260. And, we're going over wrestling pummeling, guys. You see recent videos, I'm showing how to mix the MMA with the TMA in the park with a student, and then next week with Big Henry. And I'm teaching how to mix in with the neck pummeling, standing locks, Aki Jiu-Jitsu type stuff, and with the wrestling pummeling, including the standing elbow crank. Okay? I'm a Jean LaBelle black belt, BJJ black belt, got a couple other black belts, yada yada. So, Jason Perillo, respect you a lot. I don't even know if I've probably seen you at MMA, Bellator events, whatever. I've probably seen you around. I don't even know if we've ever said hi to each other. But what he did, especially with Cyborg, from a brawler to a technical, taking your time, slipping, jabbing, what he's done with Cyborg the last couple years is amazing. So all the shout outs to the camp. Not trying to start a huge beef. Okay. I have been in the same room with Orlando Sanchez a couple times. Didn't know who he was. I don't follow grappling like crazy because watching grappling is pretty boring. Unless it's a very active no-gi match, but especially gi jiu-jitsu, Like, I'm a jiu-jitsu black belt, done jiu-jitsu 24 years, but it's like watching paint dry, okay? Usually, So, I trained at King's MMA, or Black House for like 3 months, and sometimes very far from me in traffic, getting down to King's MMA, love Master Rafael Cordero. Trained with Verdum about 5-6 times in my life. First time going back to 2000, just doing no-gi with him in a barn in Michigan, literally. I've sparred him boxing probably like 3 times, I think. Just boxing, unfortunately, I would have done better with the height and reach difference. And it was kickboxing. I used to switch to southpaw, step on his toe and triple jam him because he just does pulls. And the third one would hit him, and he was getting really pissed off at me because I was doing all the stomp on the foot trick, which actually made it into the movie Real Steel, when I was the robot in Real Steel in the first big fight with the hammer. That was me. All that spinning hammer fist. Oh, that was, kind of relates. Spinning hammer fist and stepping on the toe to keep the guy in place. Like you see in the movie Real Steel in the zoo fight with Metro with the big hammer, the ugly robot, just like me. I digress. But So a couple times I've trained with Verdum, and one time we did ground and pound, and that was the day that I'm scarred up, and he's thanking me in the intro to my videos. Thank you for helping me. It's because I was doing ground and pound, MMA, ground and pound. Verdum, I got a good base, guys. I'm not an easy guy to sweep. Verdum swept me. He's pounding me out from mount. He goes for, I think, a top wrist lock, maybe. Okay, Americana, whatever. That's what Orlando called it in the video. So, Udigarami, so I think, maybe. And then the second one was an armbar, and I escaped. I think I underhook escaped or hitchhiker escaped. Escaped Verdum's armbar. And I think we're done because we're just doing ground and pound. Like, you know, medium power MMA, ground and pound drills. Okay? And I escape out the back door. Boom, he tie clinches me. And Verdum throws forward pressure, just 3 knees at my chin. You know, he's a tall dude. I'm short, trying to yank my head down. Pretty rough gym. And so I go in, I hit him with 3 uppercuts. And he's driving in, he's bigger than me. Like, I keep the space, because if you let your head get pulled down over your hips, so I walk my hips in, and I'm trying to keep tight, and I'm hitting him with uppercuts. And he pushes us to the back, and there's a half wall there at King's towards the front, like a few feet in front of the glass. And I'm bent over, and how stop, he stops it up, and it's about 20-30 seconds before the end of the round. But he stops us because it's getting out of control. But I fought back, and I didn't just tap to Verdum, and I think that's why I got respect from Verdum finally, after all these times. And that's the video after I interview him, and he thanks me for helping him out. Long story. Okay. Anyway. 1 or 2 of those times, and I think that's when Verdum was preparing to fight Fedor. So Orlando seems to be kind of like the jiu-jitsu partner, big guy, 300 pounds. He's like a fire hydrant, 300-pound guy, okay? I was like 218 at the time. Keep that in mind. 1 or 2 times I was in there. One time I was in there, and I interviewed a lot of fighters at the gym, and TJ Dillashaw, and I don't know if Gastelum. No, Gastelum was an RFA event. But I kind of like, hey, I don't want to butt in, you guys don't really know me. I did say something to him, I kind of remember. I think it was like, just prepare for, Fedor's only good submission off his back is he pivots perfectly, like Frank Shamrock style back in the day, just one roll, not this 10-step jiu-jitsu thing, to get the Jujigatami, the armbar from guard. He armbarred a lot of guys, just quick pivot, quick roll, perfectly on the shoulder blades, into the way it really should be done, not this 10-step Gracie thing, to get the armbar from guard. I might have said something like that, or maybe I had something. I'm like, oh, maybe there's... And he just kind of, gave me not a very nice look. And I'm not trying to start anything with you, Orlando. But anyway, guys, I rewatched the footage. We're going to do a breakdown in a minute. So one day I'm in there, and I haven't sparred in a while, and I go to spar, and he calls me for the first round, and very first thing, he leg kicks me full bore. I'm like 218, he's like, 300 approximately, and he full power leg kicks me. I'm like, whoa, he's like, what? So I finish the round with him, and then I avoid him from here on out to eternity, except for now, and I'm not trying to start anything. You're an active dude, ADCC champ, I'm sure you're a great grappler, whatever. But, he kind of kind of sees me a couple times, doesn't know who I am, and right away has to assert his alpha maleness and show you who's boss, show you who's in charge. Because in his own video explaining why things happen, he said, had to show him who was, with his glasses on, I had to show him who, alpha, I had to show him who was in charge. I don't know. I'm, guy I don't know, don't trust, first thing you do off the bat, within seconds, as hard as you can, or 98.99% leg kick. You're like, whoa, dude. Like, that, I don't do anything like that in sparring. Like, that just makes your whole training week suck. Like, there's no point. I throw leg kicks like 70% tops. There's no point in doing that to your training partners. That's why I've been a training and sparring partner to all these guys. Now, Verdum like to go pretty hard, maybe, and so that's what, he likes with him, whatever. But, okay, so with Strickland, number one, apparently, and he claims that it seems to be, Perlow's drinking a beer and they're having fun. And he's boxing with his friend Big Boy. I don't really know, and it seems like he's having, it's not a serious training kind of atmosphere, and it's probably not always like that at Perlow's. I don't know. Maybe they have fun and drink beers, but it was his birthday, I think, and so it was a little unusual. Friday, I think. So But now, egos, guys. In Strickland, I don't know. But we have heard a couple fights, at least 2 fights, where Bisping has been like digging on the guy. And so there's probably a reason Bisping has like known this guy, sparred with the guy, trained with the guy, and he's just digging and digging and digging and hit him below the belt a bunch. And Bisping's kind of a funny guy. Okay, but there must be some reasons for that too. And then I did watch back enough of the video now. I'm like, oh, let me watch them sparring beforehand. And there was probably other smack talk, I don't know. But Strickland, the camera, I think it's the cameraman with his cell phone goes to Strickland's like, I'll knock you down next round. That ain't cool to say, bro. So he's got an ego problem in himself, and battle of male egos when things could get out of hand. Anyway, they go to grapple. Literally, they tie up head and elbow. He's pummeling in. Within about 3 to 4 seconds, he snaps him down real hard. So you got a 185er, walks at like 197, not a big cutter, versus 300 pounds, and it's full power, like snap down, goes to his knees, like kind of falls away and comes back. It's like 4 seconds in. Literally 9 seconds in, as he's going from plum clinch to pummeling his underhook in, he ballistically loose whips, snaps, and Strickland luckily has good reaction speed, pulls his arm back. That was not a submission attempt. I mean, the combatives and catch wrestling guy in me likes that, but that's not the place to be doing that. And, I mean, he ballistically tries to whip it 9 seconds in. 19 seconds in is when he does it again, and both times were looser below the elbow, guys. So that becomes more like the forearm snapper I teach, okay, than a submission. A submission is a controlled elbow crank. Take the guy on his toes. You can foot sweep him ashibarai or head tilt, take him down, or just slowly, gradually tap the guy out. I'm famous for doing that. That's why I'm making this video. If you look at my real Steven Seagal AIKIDO versus MMA BJJ fighters, you see me elbow cranking guys in there. Judo guys trained 34 years under 2-time Olympian Koga, rest in peace. You know, a guy who would travel an hour and a half, training with Koga, but would drive twice a week, or subways twice a week, an hour and a half each way to train with me. You see me versus a wrestling coach who was a BJJ blue belt, but still a good wrestling coach, and I elbow crank him and he didn't know it, and I teach him. So I'm kind of known for this, and you can see me doing it live to people. But that's not a nice controlled submission the way I hit it. In my videos recently, I'm teaching it how to go from pummeling to back step, like a tenkan, and time it and do it. So the first time was even worse. 9 seconds in, trying to snap his arm. And 19 seconds in, I wouldn't say snap his arm, but tweak it really good where then your elbow is effed up for about 2 weeks. And that isn't cool to a pro fighter, whether he knew it or not. But I kind of wonder, because Bisping trained with Perillo, and this guy's obviously trained with Bisping before, because Bisping's taking jabs on him, and it seems like he was talking smack while these guys are trying to have fun, maybe trying to goad him to get some real training in. Maybe he drove far in traffic, Strickland, to get some training in on a Friday, and couldn't really get it because they're drinking beers and having fun, and working out with his friend, and they're kind of body boxing, and whatever. Orlando, relax, man. I'm an old guy. I ain't trying to start nothing with you. You're the big dog. You showed me who was up. You blasted me in the leg right away. And, you know, I'm not into that. I had done that years ago at Militich's, sparring full bore out knockouts and stuff. I wasn't into that then. I learned better. And if you want to do that, I use this 4 million views. Go cut some weight and fight in Bellator UFC at 265. Do a cut and do it. I don't know. You've trained with all these guys forever. You're boxing with your friend. I would say use it for something positive. Use the attention for something positive. So, 2 bad egos and maybe some alcohol. I don't think Strickland had, but I wonder if Orlando, he was very red-faced. I don't know if he had a beer too, because it's his coach's birthday and they're having fun. And I've seen some bad things in rooms, and, you know, in Militich's we were hardcore, and Verdun was pretty hardcore, and that wasn't really cool of him, but I like him, and Verdun were friends, so he says, thanks for helping me out, I think. I'm not trying to, you know, respect to everybody, but you don't have to show who's a big boy, and you don't have to try to hurt people either. And you don't, what? Like, you don't know what he did. You know, he ballistically whipped his arm. People ain't even paying attention to the first attempt, literally 9 seconds in. Okay? And then the thing that hurt his arm, 19 seconds in. Something like that. Okay, so standing elbow crank, but again, it was ballistic and it wasn't controlled and it wasn't behind the elbow. You got to get kind of behind the elbow to control it and get a tap as a submission. If you want to snap that forearm and elbow and shoulder like John Jones did and other guys did in the UFC that no one even called, versus Sage Northcutt, did my thing to the right hook, knocked him down, and then rear naked choke the Gracie guy. Please thumbs up, share, subscribe, get down there in the comments, and well, that's what it is, folks.